Hey everyone, today I'm going to be taking a look at this interesting piece from U-Boat, the Classico Tungsten 50. Now, I'm very new to the watch industry, and from what I've seen, U-Boat doesn't seem to be like a lot of the other brands out there. They use Swiss movements and are hand-assembled in Italy, a fact they're quite proud of, but they very much have their own recognizable style. You won't find a traditional diver or flagger style watch here. A key design element is the crown at the 9 o'clock position, combined with a large case typically in the 45 to 50 millimeter range with bold, easy to read dials. As the name suggests, the Classico Tungsten 50 has a 50 millimeter case, and it's also available in a smaller 45 millimeter version. There's also one with inverted dial colors that comes on a dark brown leather strap, and these are just two of the much larger Classico lineup with pieces made from sterling silver, ceramic, and many other variations, so there's several options to choose from. With the strap, the Classico Tungsten weighs in at 8.5 ounces. Most of that heft comes from the case and caseback made from 316L stainless steel and the tungsten bezel, which is a very dense metal. All of the steel parts of the watch feature a satin hand finish, while the tungsten bezel has a mirror-like polish. The advantage to using tungsten for the bezel material is that it's an extremely hard material and will resist abrasions much better than steel. Along with the bezel, the pushers are also polished, which provides a really good looking subtle contrast between the parts. The brushed finish is carried out on the back of the case, which is also made from 316L stainless steel, and is sealed to the case with 8 external screws for a water resistance rating of 100 meters or 10 standard atmospheres. I really like what U-Boat has done here with the U-shaped sapphire crystal window. It's a good looking way of incorporating the branding into the watch and is something different than the standard round window, yet it still gives you a peek at the Swiss-made Valjoux 7750 chronograph movement. This is a solid, highly regarded workhorse of a movement with 25 joules, 28,800 vibrations per hour, that's 8 beats per second, and a 44-hour power reserve. It's been customized to U-Boat's specifications, which include the skeletonized rotor and the date display and stem moved to the 9 o'clock position. And this is a big part of the U-Boat styling. It's kind of what they're known for. It really makes them stand out, and you can spot one from across the room. Literally, at 50 millimeters, you can see this thing from across the room. It will get you noticed. Given the clarity of the flat sapphire crystal on the front, most people will even be able to read it from across the room, or at least from across the table. It has an anti-reflective coating and no distortion I could detect. While there are pros and cons to both domed and flat crystals, I've gotta say I prefer them flat. Comparing the flat crystal in the U-Boat to the domed sapphire crystal in my Meritac GPT-2, you can really see the difference in distortion. I wish I had a watch with a double domed crystal to see how much difference that would make, but of these two, I much prefer the clarity the flat crystal provides. Both watches are listed as having an anti-reflective coating, but the U-Boat is dramatically better at reducing reflections. It looks to me like it has a dual AR coated crystal, but that's not specified in their materials. Either way, the result speaks for itself. The beige colored dial has nice large Arabic numerals and hour indicators, which make it very easy to read. The Arabic numerals at the 4, 8, and 12 positions are raised up off the dial, while the hour indices are cut out, giving the face a multi-dimensional look. The subdial at the 3 o'clock position is the running seconds hand, while the large center second hand is used for the chrono. The 6 o'clock subdial is a 30-minute counter with a 12-hour counter at the 12 o'clock position. The pusher at 8 o'clock can easily be operated without having to remove the crown guard and stops and starts the timer. The pusher at 10 o'clock resets it. The action on each pusher is very crisp. There's a small bit of take-up that quickly runs into a solid wall. The brake is crisp and clean and really feels like you're operating a solid mechanical movement. The crown guard has the U-Boat name machined into it with straight knurling that makes it very easy to grip without being overly sharp. The screw-down crown is fairly small but easy to operate. It's spring-loaded, so once you unscrew it far enough, it kind of ejects out a bit. Calling this position A, you can hand-wind the mainspring. With the spring completely out of energy, it only takes a few turns to get things moving. When fully wound, this watch has a 44-hour power reserve. Pulling it out one click to position B allows you to quickly change the date. Pulling it out one more click to its furthest position, we'll call this C, hacks the second hand and allows you to set the time. I didn't notice any slop or wiggle with the stem while operating it, and it feels like it's connected directly to a bunch of gears. It feels mechanical. It feels good. The strap that comes on the watch is a light brown calf leather that's handmade and finished with a light colored stitching that accents the watch very well. It comes with a deployant buckle with the same satin finish as the case, and if you want to swap it out for something else, they've got like 70 different straps to choose from. So how's it feel to wear a watch like this? I know some of you are probably thinking, just tape a dinner plate to your wrist and you'll have a good idea. But it's actually not that bad. I have a 7.5-inch diameter wrist and wear a 46mm watch as my daily, so take that into consideration. I mean, it's definitely large. It's a 50mm case with a 58mm lug to lug, a lug width of 23, and an overall thickness of 18mm. But it doesn't seem outlandish. With the crown and pusher on the left, it wears almost as comfortable as my Maritac. It's not so big that it makes my Maritac feel small when I switch back to it. The only real difference is the weight, where the U-boat has 3.5 ounces on my 5-ounce Maritac. I think I pull it off pretty well, and it seems to be at home whether I'm out for a nice dinner in a suit or out on the links, but there may be many of you who disagree with that. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this watch.